An accountable new government started its endeavour, says Prime Minister Tariq Rahman in address to the nation.
জবাবদিহিমূলক নতুন সরকার যাত্রা শুরু করেছে। একটি স্বনির্ভর, নিরাপদ, মানবিক, গণতান্ত্রিক বাংলাদেশ প্রতিষ্ঠাই বিএনপি সরকারের লক্ষ্য।
Prime Minister Tariq Rahman greets countrymen on the occasion of Holy Ramadan.
আগামীকাল থেকে সারা দেশে শুরু হতে যাচ্ছে পবিত্র মাহে রমাদান। আমি দেশবাসীকে পবিত্র মাহে রমাদানের শুভেচ্ছা জানাই। রমাদানের পবিত্রতা রক্ষার্থে এই মাসটিকে আপনারা ব্যবসা মুনাফা লাভের মাস হিসাবে পরিগণিত করবেন না।
First meeting of new cabinet held with Prime Minister Tariq Rahman in the chair. Prime Minister directs to control price of essentials, ensure product supply and maintain law and order in Ramadan, says Home Minister after meeting. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman and cabinet members pay tribute to valiant freedom fighters placing floral wreaths at the National Mausoleum. Tariq Rahman pays homage to martyr President Ziaur Rahman and former Prime Minister Begum Khalida Zia, placing wreaths at the graves. New moon sighted in the sky of the country. Holy Ramadan begins. Presence of cabinet members turned Secretariat vibrant. Ministers stressed on implementing pledges. Opening statement of prosecution in 3 charges against Joy and Pollock in July mass uprising cases ends. Testimony recording on 25th February. Talks between Russia, Ukraine and the US in Geneva end without breakthrough. And in Women Asia Rising Stars Cup, Bangladesh beat Malaysia by 90 runs. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV News. I am Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the highlights. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman said that a new government accountable to the people has begun its journey in Bangladesh free from subjugation with the people's vote. He said this in his first address to the nation tonight after taking office as Prime Minister. Tariq Rahman said that the goal of the BNP government is to establish a self-reliant, safe and humane democratic Bangladesh. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman said his government's top priority is to restore peace and security in the minds of the people by improving the law and order situation and strictly controlling corruption. Wishing the countrymen a blessed Ramadan, Tariq Rahman urged traders to be vigilant so that commodity prices do not go beyond the reach of the common people.
জনগণের ভোটে জনগণের কাছে জবাবদিহিমূলক একটি নতুন সরকার যাত্রা শুরু করেছে। দেশে গণতন্ত্র এবং মানুষের অধিকার পুনঃপ্রতিষ্ঠার এই যাত্রা লগ্নে আমি দেশবাসীকে শুভেচ্ছা এবং আন্তরিক অভিনন্দন জানাই। একটি স্বনির্ভর, নিরাপদ, মানবিক, গণতান্ত্রিক বাংলাদেশ প্রতিষ্ঠাই বিএনপি সরকারের লক্ষ্য। ফ্যাসিবাদের সময়কালে দুর্নীতি দুঃশাসনে পর্যুদস্ত একটি ভঙ্গুর অর্থনীতি, দুর্বল শাসন কাঠামো আর অবনতিশীল আইন শৃঙ্খলা পরিস্থিতির মধ্য দিয়ে নতুন সরকার যাত্রা শুরু করেছে। আইন শৃঙ্খলা পরিস্থিতির উন্নয়ন এবং কঠোরভাবে দুর্নীতি নিয়ন্ত্রণের মাধ্যমে জনগণের মনে শান্তি, নিরাপত্তা ফিরিয়ে আনাই হচ্ছে আমাদের সরকারের প্রধান অগ্রাধিকার। দলীয় কিংবা রাজনৈতিক প্রভাব, প্রতিপত্তি অথবা জোর জবরদস্তি নয়, আইনের শাসনই হবে রাষ্ট্র পরিচালনার শেষ কথা। আমি দেশবাসীকে পবিত্র মাহে রামাদানের শুভেচ্ছা জানাই। রামাদান আত্মশুদ্ধির মাস। আমরা যদি আত্মশুদ্ধি শব্দটির মর্মার্থ উপলব্ধি করি, তাহলে এই মাসে মানুষের ভোগান্তি বাড়ার কথা নয়। যদিও আমাদের অনেকের মধ্যেই এই মাসটিকে ঘিরে ব্যবসায় অধিক মুনাফা লাভের প্রবণতা লক্ষণীয়। আপনাদের প্রতি আমার বিনীত আহ্বান, রামাদানের পবিত্রতা রক্ষার্থে এই মাসটিকে আপনারা ব্যবসা মুনাফা লাভের মাস হিসাবে পরিগণিত করবেন না। দ্রব্যমূল্য যাতে সাধারণ মানুষের নাগালের বাইরে না যায়, এই ব্যাপারে ব্যবসায়ীরা দয়া করে সতর্ক থাকবেন। রাজধানীতে জনসংখ্যার চাপ কমাতে বিকল্প ব্যবস্থা গ্রহণ করা জরুরি হয়ে পড়েছে। মানুষ তার নিজ জেলায় কিংবা নিজের বাসা বাড়িতে থেকেও যাতে সহজভাবে সঠিক সময়ে অফিস আদালত ব্যবসা বাণিজ্য করতে পারেন, সেই লক্ষ্যকে সামনে রেখেই সারা দেশে রেল যোগাযোগ ব্যবস্থা ঢেলে সাজানোর উদ্যোগ নেওয়া হচ্ছে। এই পরিকল্পনার অংশ হিসাবে প্রথমেই রেল, নৌ, সড়ক এবং সেতু মন্ত্রণালয়ের কার্যক্রম পুনর্বিন্যাস ও সমন্বয় করা হচ্ছে। আমাদের চারপাশে সমস্যার শেষ নেই, তবে সমস্যার পাশাপাশি সম্ভাবনাও কিন্তু কম নয়। আমাদের বৃহৎ জনগোষ্ঠীকে যদি আমরা দক্ষ জনশক্তিতে রূপান্তরিত করতে পারি, তাহলে এই জনসংখ্যাই হবে আমাদের জনসম্পদ। আমরা আমাদের পরিকল্পনা এবং প্রতিশ্রুতি বাস্তবায়নের কাজ শুরু করে দিয়েছি ইনশাআল্লাহ। অঙ্গীকার পূরণের এই যাত্রা পথে আমরা ভবিষ্যতের দিনগুলোতেও আপনাদের অব্যাহত সমর্থন প্রত্যাশা করি। নবগঠিত সরকার গঠনের সুযোগ দিতে যারা বিএনপিকে ভোট দিয়েছেন কিংবা দেননি অথবা কাউকেই ভোট দেননি, এই সরকারের প্রতি আপনাদের সবার সমান অধিকার। বিএনপি সরকার বিশ্বাস করে দল, মত, ধর্ম, দর্শন যার যার, রাষ্ট্র সবার। এই দেশে, এই রাষ্ট্রে একজন বাংলাদেশী হিসাবে আপনার, আমার, আমাদের প্রতিটি বাংলাদেশী নাগরিকের অধিকার সমান।
The first meeting of the new cabinet of the present BNP government led by Prime Minister Tariq Rahman was held at the Cabinet Division in Bangladesh Secretariat this afternoon. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman presided over the meeting. At the outset of the meeting, the Prime Minister exchanged pleasantries with his cabinet colleagues. Members of the newly sworn-in cabinet attended the meeting. Among others, Cabinet Secretary and secretaries concerned were present. In the meeting, the Prime Minister provided guidelines as per his party's election manifesto to the ministries concerned. Earlier, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman arrived at the Cabinet Division in Bangladesh Secretariat around 12:30 p.m. to chair the first cabinet meeting of his government. On his arrival, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Nasimul Ghani and Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister ABM Abdus Sattar welcomed the new Prime Minister. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman held a meeting with secretaries of various ministries. The meeting was held at the Cabinet Meeting Room at the Secretariat this afternoon. Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir and Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed were present at the meeting. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman paid homage to the martyrs of the country's war of liberation a day after he took oath as the country's 11th Prime Minister. Tariq Rahman, as the Prime Minister, first paid tributes to the martyrs by placing floral wreath at the altar of the National Memorial on the outskirts of the capital city. After laying the wreaths, he stood in solemn silence for some time as a mark of profound respect to the memories of the martyrs who made supreme sacrifices for the cause of the country's independence in 1971. A smartly turned out contingent drawn from 3 services gave a state salute while the bugle played the last post on the occasion. Later, flanked by the new cabinet colleagues, he also placed another wreath at the altar of the National Memorial on behalf of his new cabinet. Later, Tariq Rahman signed the visitor's book and planted a sapling of Parijat tree on the National Memorial premises. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has paid rich tributes to his parents, Shaheed President Zia Rahman and former Prime Minister Begum Khalida Zia, a day after he took oath as the country's 11th Prime Minister following his party's landslide victory in the 13th parliamentary polls held on February 12. The Prime Minister paid homage to his father, Shaheed President Zia Rahman, and mother Begum Khalida Zia, 3-time Prime Minister, by placing wreaths at their graves at Zia Uddan in the city's Shere Bangla Nagar area at 12 noon. Later, flanked by the new cabinet colleagues, he also placed another wreath at the graves. After placing the wreath, they offered Fatiha and prayed to Almighty Allah for eternal peace for the departed souls of Shaheed President Zia Rahman and Begum Khalida Zia. The holy month of Ramadan of 1447 Hijri will begin in the country tomorrow as the new moon was sighted in the sky of Bangladesh today. The decision was taken at a meeting of the National Moon Sighting Committee at the conference room of Islamic Foundation at Baitul Mukarram National Mosque this evening. Islamic Foundation sources said the moon was sighted in Netrokona, Sirajganj and Cox's Bazar districts this evening. Ramadan is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar. It is a time when Muslims around the world focus on prayers, fasting, giving charity and religious devotion. All government, semi-government and private offices have arranged new office schedule. Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has emphasized the importance of implementing the promises made to the people in the 13th National Parliamentary Election. He made this statement while speaking to journalists on his way to his office at the Secretariat after paying tribute to the martyrs of the Liberation War at the National Martyrs Memorial in Savar this morning. Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said that arrangements will be made to hold elections in local government bodies as soon as possible. He added that the law and order situation has improved compared to before and that stability has returned to the economy. Through collective efforts, he said, further improvements can be achieved. The LGRD minister stated that the government has taken on a challenge, the challenge of nation building. He said the Prime Minister had mentioned having a plan and the Cabinet will work to implement that plan to move the country forward. Government wants to advance with democracy and democracy will be reflected in all aspects of the government, he added. Mirza Fakhrul also stressed that providing family cards, supporting farmers and ensuring social safety nets are extremely important. He further said that regarding commodity prices during Ramadan, the government will work based on the Prime Minister's directives from today's Cabinet meeting. Finance Minister Amir Khusro Mahmood Chaudhry has outlined his government's immediate priorities, placing institutional reform, economic inclusivity, broad-based economic participation and deregulation at the top of the agenda. Speaking to reporters after assuming charge at the Finance Ministry, the minister said the government's ability to deliver depends fundamentally on the strength and efficiency of its institutions. Khusro, also the Minister of Planning, acknowledged that state institutions are currently in a poor condition and require urgent attention. He stressed that restoring professionalism, transparency and efficiency within public institutions would be the first priority. According to him, without these core elements, even the most ambitious economic programs would fail to produce meaningful results. The Finance Minister described institutional reform as the number one task before the ministry, underscoring that rebuilding governance structures is a prerequisite for sustainable economic management. Turning to broader economic policy, he said the country must move away from what he described as a patronage-driven economic model and instead democratize the economy. The economy of Bangladesh must be for all people, he said, emphasizing the need to ensure a level playing field. He noted that every citizen should have an opportunity to participate in economic activity and to benefit from its outcomes. He reiterated that wider participation in the economy is essential for inclusive growth. Ensuring that economic gains reach every segment of the society would be a key benchmark of success under his leadership. On regulatory reforms, and Finance Minister renewed his call for serious deregulation and liberalization, arguing that Bangladesh has become an over-regulated country over time. Law Minister Mohammad Asaduzzaman has said that meeting the mountain-high expectations of the people is the biggest challenge and that they will work tirelessly to fulfill those expectations without any negligence. He made the remarks today while responding to questions from journalists at the Secretariat. The Law Minister said that the government's main focus will be to move forward based on BNP's 31-point agenda and election manifesto. He added that they will advance by upholding the spirit of those who sacrificed their lives for democracy, the rule of law and justice, those who were martyred in the July uprising, and those who laid down their lives in 1971 to build the country. He further said that in the matters related to crimes against humanity, the law will take its own course. However, if there has been any misuse of the law, the government will also look into that. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shopon has pledged to ensure an environment where media will be free from fear, promising steps to protect journalists. He told reporters at the Bangladesh Secretariat on his first working day. He said the government has all necessary plans to address media issues. About the challenge of disinformation, the minister said this has emerged as a new challenge globally. Government has to move forward cautiously. While technology empowers, it also brings problems that must be solved using technology. The government will resolve the problem in line with media guidelines that ensure information is presented truly to the public. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapon has directed officials concerned to ensure people's right to information and to give priority to issues related to national interest. The minister was addressing a views exchange meeting with officials and chiefs of 15 different organizations under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. He urged all to highlight and disseminate state reform endeavors initiated by the Prime Minister. Information and Broadcasting Ministry Secretary Mahbooba Farzana chaired the meeting, which was also addressed by State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Yasir Khan Chowdhury. Ministry officials and heads of 15 wings under the ministry attended the meeting. Zahiruddin Shapon directed the officials concerned to utilize information management platforms properly. State Minister Yasir Khan Chowdhury urged officials concerned of the ministry to work in a concerted manner to bolster the good reputation and glory of the ministry's activities. The prosecution's presentation has been concluded in the case against Sheikh Hasina's son Shojib Wajid Joy and former ICT State Minister Junaid Ahmed Polok, accused in 3 charges, including ordering killings and shutting down the internet during the July mass uprising. The trial is set to begin on February 25. International Crimes Tribunal 1, led by Justice Ghulam Murtaza Majumdar, gave the order today after presentation of introductory speech. Former Army Chief Iqbal Karim Bhuiya, who gave a statement against former Army officer Ziaul Ahsan in the case of enforced disappearances and murders during the Awami League's rule, has completed his second day of questioning, with the remaining quizzing scheduled for February 23rd by the same tribunal. He has been interrogated today for the second day by the defense lawyers. On the other hand, at Tribunal 2 today, the second day of the witness testimony was completed in the case of crimes against humanity in the July mass uprising against 7 top leaders of the currently banned Awami League and its affiliated bodies, including Obaidul Qadir. The next hearing of this case will be held tomorrow. The government today announced the closure of primary and secondary schools from tomorrow during Ramadan. In a notification, the Ministry of Education revised their annual holiday schedule, keeping government and non-government secondary and lower secondary schools closed during the holy month of Ramadan. According to the updated list published today, classes at these institutions will remain suspended from Thursday, February 19. Their schools will stay closed until March 26, the revised schedule shows. As March 26 falls on a Thursday, teachers and staff members will also receive the weekly holidays on Friday and Saturday, extending their break until March 28. The change has been made by revising the previously announced 2026 holiday list. Later, the Ministry of Primary and Mass Education also issued a separate notification in this regard. And now, international news.